When I was a student, I got to work under Dr. Michael Levine at the University of Illinois at Chicago. His research was the basis for a neuroscience textbook called Sensation and Perception. When it comes to what we think we know about reality, sensation is what happens first. Take the eyes, for example. Light, in the form of photons, bombards the various cells of the retina. The cells, when activated, give off an electrical charge which can trigger other cells to spike an electrical charge. Your eyes have sensed that you are seeing something, but technically you're not seeing anything yet. The patterns of electrical stimulation have to be processed in the phase called perception. It is not until your brain tries to make sense of the photon bombardment do you actually see something. What we see is what our brains conclude we are seeing based on a fast, but not as accurate as we think, assessment of electrical impulses. Hearing works in a similar way. An iconic Buddhist question that is supposed to be a riddle. Seriously, Dalai Lama, please update the teachings at least a little before they get deemed obsolete. Is the old, if a tree falls in a forest, does it make a sound? The answer is an emphatic no. This is not a mystery, nor a riddle, by any means in this era. So again, if a tree falls in a forest, does it make a sound? No. It vibrates what is around it, perhaps making sound waves. But it isn't until those waves vibrate the little hairs in the ear which trigger electrical impulses that are then processed to perceive something can it be called a sound. A sound is in our mind, and in our mind only. It is what our brains have concluded to be what is from trying to distinguish or create patterns out of raw electrical signals during the sensation phase. Taste, touch, and smell work the same way. So while you're breathing in a controlled manner during our exercises, think about how limited your reality is. Are you really hearing that noise outside? Or do you think you're hearing that noise outside based on sound waves moving little hairs in your ears? Is your brain correct in identifying that sound? Do you hear it exactly as it was intended? Does what you hear exist in and of itself? Or are there parts of a sound you are incapable of hearing? Are there waves being made that your ears can't detect? Is that a door in front of your room? Or is it just a rectangle? What makes it a door? You? Social convention? What is a rectangle anyway? Does it still exist as a rectangle if you take away one of the sides? Is its existence dependent upon having four sides placed in an exact form? If so, does the concept of a rectangle inherently actually exist without its components? What else in your reality works this way? What about you? Do you exist in and of yourself? Or is your existence also dependent on parts and conditions? What are you anyway? If your whole reality is dependent on your perception, does that make you the creator? Oh my God, what about everyone else? Through sensation and perception, are they the creators of their realities too? If you switched places with one of them, would you still exist? Or would you be them, and they would be you, and therefore you could have switched places, and neither of you would know the difference? Does the richest man in the world have it better than me, or am I actually him anyway and don't know it? Holy crap, am I both of us at the same time? All right. These questions can go on forever, but they're really important to ask yourself. As crazy as your line of thinking might get, feel free to go with it. You won't go insane. Trust me. That last question is strange, but is an important smack in the face of envy. Think about it. Would you really want to trade identities with someone else? It's possible that you're a struggling artist who envies a celebrity. But if you think about it, what you want is to trade circumstances with that person, not identities. When we say that we would like to be somebody, we are really saying that we perhaps like their fame, intelligence, power, wealth, position, etc. But exchanging selves or identities is a whole different matter. To be the other person, we would have to no longer be ourselves. We would be that other person instead, with their memories and their sense of I am. If I woke up as Usher tomorrow, I'd be Usher. I'd no longer be Anand Bhatt. I'd have Usher's mind and body. My concept of being Anand would no longer exist. Screw that. I wouldn't mind trading radio chart positions with the guy every now and then, but if I traded identities, I'd have no way to appreciate it, because I'd be Usher, who takes being Usher for granted just as much as I take being Anand Bhatt for granted. It's all either of us know. This is an important conclusion to come to grips with. We are who we are, and even though we all want more out of life, we still want our life stories to be from our point of view. If we woke up as someone else, we'd have no idea. So such a trading of places other than external circumstance would be meaningless. And as far as external circumstances go, I don't know about you, but I've been more successful during bouts of admiration versus envy. The difference between the two is another great thing to meditate on.